I hear some of you saying like, what's all this interest in a pool? Listen, if you thought this was only about a pool, you missed the point. This is about accountability. At this point, the Trump administration has placed blame on everyone from vandals to former President Barack Obama to Antifa, leftist media, even The View. Practically anyone other than the people who thought it was a good idea to give a no-bid contract worth millions of dollars to friends in exchange for this. I promise you, I had no idea what this reflecting pool was all about until all of this first started. All I knew was that this was a monument that reflected two of America's greatest monuments. And now it's reflecting just how far this administration is willing to go to make sure they don't look bad. When I was there to see it for myself, I shot video of the reflecting pool, and I did see some of the National Guardsmen around the pool. Now, it never even dawned on me that this was something new. I walked up, they watched me, no one said a word, okay? I was recording video and everything. I've had people now ask me if it was legal for me to post that video. Of course it's legal. Why wouldn't it be? But I have to understand, like, you know, these are the same people who are now watching folks arrested or being cited for just touching the water. I walked down what is now apparently a crime scene. I didn't see any, major gashes or anything like that. Mind you, this was at night, but that's the thing that apparently is the biggest sticking point right now, is that the president is saying someone or a number of people went in there and created a 350-foot gash across the reflecting pool, this gash that, apparently wasn't supposed to be possible.
If you had a knife, you can't even cut it.
And then they've kind of left the door open for people to make explanations around why there's so much algae. That's where you get people in the comments saying, yeah, the vandals were dumping fertilizer, and that's what was helping the algae grow. Listen, proof is a very important thing. I give a lot of credit to some of the journalists who are pushing back at this point, asking for proof.
But do you have proof of that they used a knife? Do you have photos or video?
Let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
That's not proof. Let's be realistic here. Because by that logic, you can say the presence of algae is proof of a crime, when we know that's not how things work. They've also said that they've arrested at least 5 people for vandalizing this pool, and yet they've only given one name. That's not how this works. Who are these people? What are their charges? It sounds more like we just need some accountability. Don't take this the wrong way. I am hopeful that we can get this figured out. Maybe even don't say you made a mistake. Just say, you know what, we could have done better. I think Americans can stomach that. All that to say, folks, I really just want to see this thing fixed. Let's just fix it. Let's just get it done with, okay? Let's just make this one less thing that we have to talk about. Again, always wondering, what do you think?